Hey guys, Renner here. Welcome back to the F2 UniONE career, this time for round 7 of this F2 season here. For the first time, I think definitely in the F2 history, maybe in when it was GP2 as well, we come to the Canadian Grand Prix, the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, for the first time, which means that there is a home driver on the grid for this race, Nicholas Latifi. As you can see there, he's starting pretty high up, you see the Dams pair. You've got Yuki Tsunoda here in P5, so great qualifying there from the Japanese driver, because first time racing on this circuit, and along with Boccolacci, probably, I think all the drivers really, it's their first time racing here at the circuit, along with the other races yet to come at USA, Mexico and Brazil, so Formula 2 following Formula 1 for the remainder of this season. You can get a first look there at the grid, and you've got Latifi there in P3, but his teammate Sete Camera takes the pole, and the 4 points that go with it, and clearing the front row is the Italian Luca Ghiotto. So we've got Latifi in third, with De Vries, the other championship rival, in fourth. As you saw, Tsunoda and Boccolacci completing row 3. We've got Robert Schwartzman as the lead of the Premiers, alongside Jack Aitken, with Jordan King and the trident of Ralph Boschung, with a good qualifying running off the top 10. We've got Markov, pretty disappointing from him in 11th place, alongside Callum Ilott to complete the 6th row of the grid. We're going with a good qualifying there from the Indian who races under a Dutch licence. Could be on for his first points here. Alongside Lacey on row 7. Then we have Galeo and Guan Yu Zhou, so quite a way down the order once again, only in 16th place. Then we have Delachaz, very disappointing from him in 17th, alongside Reno Sato. And on the back row of the grid we have Mace Pin in the second of the ARTs, with Tatiana Cauldron bringing up the rear for this Canadian Grand Prix. And it could be an interesting race here, because Canada often throws up some good races in Formula 1. We've got a lot of overtaking opportunities here, because with the long straights and double DRS zones. And for this race, we're going to be following on board with one of the Brits, Jordan King. He's had a mixed season. He's had some good results, but then has also had some races where he's pretty much nowhere. And he's pretty much in the mid pack for this race. So anyway, he's up really. And a top 10 start means that his pace in the race should be pretty promising. And now coming to the 5 red lights for the first Canadian Grand Prix of Formula 2. Lights out and away we go. That's a pretty even start from everyone. Aiki there looks like he's going to try and make a start there on his teammate Boccolacci. Going to take you 3 wide. He's 3 wide further back now as well. But one of the Premiers getting involved. Going for a dive there from Markov on the inside line of Jordan King into turn 1. They're going to go Salah with the Frenchman Boccolacci. He's dropped down for the start. It's not been a good start there from the Frenchman. We've got Markov there all over the curb. Trying to go around the outside line. And try and make that one out into the first with the chicanes. Going to get through here without contact. Everyone's made through so far. Especially, well, the first half of the pack's made it through. It looks like I'm not seeing any major dramas if anyone else further back. You've still got Markov doing battles here with Boccolacci. Boccolacci's going to hold it around the outside line. Then turns to the inside line for the next corner. Going to try and squeeze out the Russian driver. They've both been in Formula 2 now for quite a while, so they both know each other's driving styles. And they're now into the section again. These two still keeping it side by side. Markov almost getting forced into the wall there by Boccolacci, so the French are getting very, very aggressive. And they're still going side by side. Brilliant battling between these two now. We've got the MP of Jordan King looking very interested up behind as well, but Boccolacci, some brilliant defending, managed to hold off the Russian. And then we've got King has a look around the outside line. There we've got Boccolacci. We've got the trident there of Boschung looking very racy up behind the back there of Jordan King. But the Brit just manages to hold off, and he's lost 1 place off the start. But as well, that was Markov making a massive type of there at the start. And then down the straight here, there's no DRS here. They're going up to 170, 180 mile an hour, so not too far off the Formula 1 speeds. I mean, these cars are about, obviously they're slower around the lap, but in straight line speed-wise, they're not all too bad, honestly. As Sete Camera leads the first lap, so he's obviously setting the fastest lap. And then looking at the mini-map, it's still the same top 3, same top 4, actually. I think same top 5 as how it started. And you've got a few gaps forming already. You've got Boccolacci clearly holding up Markov. Then you've got King, Boschung. Then they've got a little bit of a gap back to the car behind there, which I think might be a Lacey in the second of the trident. So good start there from the Frenchman. And then 7.5 seconds up through the first sector. I mean, that just shows how slowly you are on the first lap. You're getting up 7 seconds all over in the first sector alone. Now this is also a DRS straight down here when it comes to lap 3. And that's going to be Markov is going to be very happy about that, because Boccolacci is definitely holding him up. Now they're onto lap 3, coming into that same spot now into the second header, getting all over the place there from Jordan King, getting a massive slide on there. And now it's going to be Boccolacci with the DRS, but then King also has DRS as well. Boccolacci's got the momentum there, he's got the run out of the corner. And then Boschung though just has to stick behind. as well as Marco just has to stick behind Boccolacci there up in front. So the Frenchman has some good straight on speed in that car, maybe running a low drag setup. I mean, these cars are all equal in terms of spec, but the overall setup of the car is going to be different from driver to driver. So everyone's got completely different driving styles, although it's still going around the same track, so there's still going to be some similarities, but I think there's also going to be a lot of differences as well to find like the minuscule like tenths of the second. And then actually, we haven't got DRS now, Jordan King. Without the DRS now, he's going to go into threat now from Boschong. Going to go for a dive on the inside line, coming to the final corner chicane. He's going to be side by side. And Boschong is going to try and make that move stick, which he does into the corner. So a nice move there from Boschong. But now King can try and fight back now with the DRS as well. Actually, no, it's a double DRS, and so now that Boschong's made the move, he can just disappear off into the distance now, as Louis Delatraz behind puts the fast lap of the race. So Delatraz getting a move on from P17 on the grid, up into now the points places in the top 12, but he needs to be in the top 10, remember, if he wants to get the fastest lap. Maybe top 10, well, top 12 get points, but only the fastest driver inside the top 10 gets the fastest lap points. I know, like Formula 1, if a driver outside the top 10 sets fastest lap, the point goes to no one. The points for fastest lap do get reallocated to whoever's inside the top 10 with it. Now it's on to the end of lap 6 now. It's took Delatraz this long to catch up to this queue of cars. The catch up first of all to Jordan King with the queue of cars in front. Starting to fall away with Boschong definitely falling away a little bit. And yeah, you can see there King's tyre at 50% wear. So tyre wear not been too good for King on his first set of tyres, but now we've got Delatraz going to try and make a move. This could be a bit awkward if they're both coming into the pit lane. They're going to be side by side. Is Delatraz staying after that? No, he backs off. Must have been told that King's pitting. And they're going to make it into the pit lane along with Delatraz. So now it's going to be a pit lane battle between MP and between Carlin. It also depends what pit box you got, because the pit boxes are pretty much randomly assigned almost, so you have to see who's got what pit box, not like in Formula 1 where the top team starts at the end and the lowest team at the bottom. And now they're into the pit box, and I think they've got the Williams pit box here for MP, so they've got the end pit box, so that should be a good trap position, although he's being held there in the pit box, and his car's coming through. There goes one orange car, so that's one of the Campos going through. There's quite a few other cars going through, so it's not been a good stop there from the Dutch team there, the MP Motorsport team. He's got one of the Sauber cars there in front of Callum Eilert, I think that is. And then we've got Boschong in the Trident car. And then we've got a Delatraz, and then we've got Boccolacci as well. So a terrible start there from the MP Motorsport guys. That is not going to do them any favours if they want to score any points from this race at all. So now it's P17 currently for King. We've got Eilert in front and Zhu behind, but of course the other half of the grid is yet to make their starts. By losing those few places, King, I don't think, is actually going to be in the points still once all things play out. He's probably going to be in about 13th, maybe 12th if he's lucky. He will get the undercut now with all the other cars that have stayed out. And you got to Eilert with the points previous. Eilert's not really featured all too much this season. And again, neither has his Sauber teammate Marina Sato. And neither, honestly, Trident have sort of faded as well. I mean, they're all pairing races, they qualify well, but they just haven't quite got the race pace to stick with their positions. I think the highest so far is 6th or 7th back at Russia, the opening round. But no, it's going to be DRS. It is DRS indeed for Jordan King, and then the cars in front as well. And then got the DRS days. Eilert close to make a move on the car in front. No, he's not. And we've got Bosch on there going defensive, so now driving there from the Swiss driver. Good defensive moves have been informative for quite a while still as well. But then down the straight here, these battle is this going to hold them up for any time? We have the other cars in the pit lane. We have the other cars there, Galeo and the other MP there, Rangonathan, making their way back out now onto the track. Then we've got Guan Yu Zhou in the UniONE race. He's going to come out there behind Rangonathan, and I think he was behind the Indian driver anyway. So we actually some pretty good pace there from Rangonathan. He's currently in P15, and if things start getting a bit spicy up in front, then the Indian driver could be on for his first points in Formula 2. And I think he's currently the only driver without points on the board, so if he wants to actually accomplish something from this season of Formula 2, he's still got some races yet to get a point on the board, but really, if you want to try and keep his seat in F2 for next season, he's going to want to start making it now. In qualifying, he's been there or thereabouts on pace, but he's been in the races where he's really just dropped off the face of the earth. And then King looking very aggressive there to the inside line of the hairpin. I mean, just playing off Calamari. No, he's not going to make a move anywhere close to making a move there through the hairpin. They're just trying to put Eilert off, because Eilert has got the task now of attacking the car in front and also defending from the car behind. So he really is the car in the sandwich. And now then, he's got DRS once again. He's close to try and make a move going to the corner. So to Karen puts up the fast lap. He goes defending to the inside line. And all of them just managed to about get themselves stopped from the corner. But we've got Bosch on there, has to take a compromise line there through the corner now. Once again, Callum Eilert with the DRS. He's close to trying to move once again, coming into turn 1. Bosch defending well. Eilert has a look inside, has a think about it. nothing there you can do, just to stick behind. And 7/10 quicker now for the best lap, and this is allowing King to try and go around the outside line. I mean, points for effort, but you're not going to find a line there around the outside. And if these two keep fighting like they are, this is just going to allow the second pack of cars led by Rangunathan, King's teammate, to rock up onto the back of them. This is the fight for the final points position, so this fight matters. It's not like they're all going for pride for the fight of the wooden spoon to not be the last car on the track. This fight matters. Crucial points here. Of course, points mean positions in the table, and positions in the table mean super license points, so it's absolutely critical for all of these drivers, because points add up. I mean, these two drivers are not going to be troubling the championship this year, but still, any points they can get now can help them further down the line. This bit, I think, always used to be a DRS straight a couple of years ago, though, but it's not this time. And once again, I was a little thinking about making a move into the hairpin, but still nothing there that the Brit can do, because one of the Ferrari juniors here, along with Giuliano Alesi as well, on the grid, and of course Robert Schwartzman as well in the Prema, the reigning F3 champion. And once again, Isla with the DRS and Santa Karen once again puts up another fast lap. Santa Karen's absolutely relentless, but now Latifi's again going for a fast lap, and there's a bit of a lock of all three, and there's contact! There's contact! Isla's trying to get shoved around there by Jordan King, and King's lost a load of his front wing. No, that's going to be slowing out of the corner. We saw significant damage there to Jordan King. The British race, the two Brits colliding there into the chicane, but all three of them locked up. Was there some sort of was it oil down? Some kind of fluid on the track? All three of them doing the exact same lockup at the exact same time. And King, he braked at his normal point, and his car just didn't stop. Maybe he's got some kind of braking issue, maybe. He's going to come steaming in and takes out Callum Island, pushing through the corner, and Island has to do a bit of a spin. And he actually, gets stuck. He holds up there, the Prema, and coming in, steamrolling through. Tatiana Colden barges Island out of the way. Callum Island goes from bad to worse. He's now out of the race. And Galeo manages to get going, albeit now in last place. He parked Sauber there, the forcibly parked Sauber car on the apex of the final corner. Now looking at replay there from the Colombian driver, Tatiana Colden's perspective, the only female driver on the grid. There you got yellow flags flashing. She comes into the corner. You can see the car there stopped, and she just decides to plough through them. I mean, there's plenty of run. If he could, honestly, he should have just took them off and gained 2 places out of it. But no, she just decides to plough her way through Callum Ilott. I mean, that's the most impact she's made in a Formula 2 race so far, and it's not even the good kind of impact. Now on board from the Sauber car, how he saw it. You see King, he's braking, but his car just isn't stopping. The wheels are locked up, so I think he had some kind of braking issue where the brakes really weren't working. And Isla, unfortunately, gets used out of the brake, and then Isla, I think, gets flustered, just tries to recover as quickly as possible, pins Galeo there to the apex, has to be careful to get beached on the curb, and Cauldron just ploughs through. I really don't know what she was doing there, apart from causing a wreck, and doing the most relevant thing she's done so far in Formula 2. Then back onto the live action now, got all these cars around the track. You've got King has managed to keep going, but he has to admit defeat and pit for new front wing. He's got Rangunathan there, his teammate now, flying the flag for MP. I mean, with the cars taken out, Rangunathan could actually still yet be on for a points finish, because he should now be up into like 12th or 13th, so he's just outside the points. There's going to be a new front wing here then for Jordan King. Of course, the front wheel people also changed the front wing as well, so that the rear tyres are already done, and then they can set to work on the front side. So a front wing change, not like when you got like 20 people in a Formula 1 car, you got, what's that, 6, 8 people there on the F2 pit stops, and then there's going to be another set of the soft tyres. There's no way the super softs would have got to the end of the race. And you've got Cauldron, who's pitted there on the lap before, so King must have tried to stay out for a lap or two with the damage, just trying to soldier on to try and prove a point, but has to admit defeat, and he's way ahead there of Cauldron. And then on to lap 13, P17 of 18 with Cauldron expectedly in last place. Now then, coming down the stoppage, the back straight here is in absolutely nowhere, and he's asking for the fastest lap. Is King just going for a glory run now to try and set the fastest lap of the race? There's a nice line there over the curves, hopping over the curves. I mean, that's the quickest way through. You've got to be careful that he didn't get a corner cut penalty or anything. And coming up to the line, and Jordan King indeed does set the fastest lap of the race, and that's purely just for pride, just showing the pace that he does have when there's not an issue with his car or some sort of kind of fluid down on the track, because all three of them to lock up still. Something that had to have gone wrong, possibly with the Trident car, because that was the one in the front. So if that's got a little leak or something, then that probably would explain the massive crash that happened. Looking up front though, it's the Dams 1-2. This is becoming a familiar sight. both dams leading the Grand Prix. And it's still Seti Camera that leads the way from teammate and home favourite Nicholas Latifi. And going on out to lap Tatiana Carlton as if her race wasn't going bad enough already. But at least though she actually does get out of the way, these two. And doesn't try to barge them out. Like, I mean, taking out a car in second to last is one thing. Taking out the leaders when they're being lapped is another. You definitely don't want to repeat of Jos Verstappen what he did to Montoya in 2001 at the Brazilian Grand Prix, I believe it was. Taking out Montoya from a race that he easily should have won, barring if his car did a little bit, had it in the bag, I think, anyway. Now then, did that allow Latifi to actually gain some time on the back? Obviously, maybe so that DRS is not going to be able to do anything there. Getting the Safina sponsor getting a load of screen time there, so they're going to be pretty happy about that. I mean, once you're up the front of these races, you do tend to get a bit more TV time, so it definitely does please the sponsors. Now, Latifi, there's only a few laps left to go in this race now, so he's got to make a move pretty quickly if he's going to make one at all. And he's got the DRS once again, and also it depends what kind of setups they're running as well. I mean, the Seti Camera could be running maximum low drag, which means the car probably is still as fast as the T3s in a straight line, even with the Canadian having the DRS, but this is going to make it that much harder to handle there through the corners. I mean, it's not quite monster levels of lack of downforce really or spark, because there's quite a few slow speed corners that you do need to get your car to actually go through as well. It's still kind of like the lowest, it's probably the third lowest downforce settings you run. You've got Monza first, then Spa, and then Canada, or at least that's how I see it anyway. So we can see next week at the F1 race to see how low drag setups people go with. And Latifi though really is closing up on the back of Seti Camera. I mean, I think lapping Caldra, I mean, she got out of the way pretty quickly, but it's still a distraction. Having a giant pink car in front of you, I mean, getting out of the way, yeah, it's a momentary distraction. You have to concentrate on where it is. And Latifi really is getting on the back of Seti Camera. I don't know how long this goes for. It's probably another couple of laps, but I don't know exactly. I don't think we're on the final lap yet. I think Latifi though would up the ante if this was indeed the final lap of the race. There you got the Canadian flag as well, so Latifi there with loads of home support. And once again, he's got the DRS on the back of his teammate Seti Camera. And he's going to get close on to make a run into the final corner, because double DRS, so he doesn't need to make the run into the chicane, but he definitely needs to make it into turn 1 if he's going to make any kind of move. And then a second run off DRS now once again, with Latifi on the run down now into turn 1, and coming on now to what I'm sure this is it. Yeah, this has to be the final lap now of the race. It's going to be all or nothing then for Latifi coming now onto this lap. Through turn 1, then maybe he's just biding his time, sticking behind, because he knows that if he makes the move, there isn't, because like I said before, identical cars for everyone. If he makes the move now, then Seti Camera's just going to get the DRS and that to come straight back past him again. But that's a risky strat, actually. That is a very, very risky strat. But then again, so he's overtaking him, because he's giving back the ways I take. But then if you got, I'd rather have track position in this situation. Unless Seti Camera is just absolutely finessing his teammate. He knows he's got the straight line speed, he knows he's got the car and anything that he needs, and he's just managing the gap. Because Latifi, he can get this close. It doesn't seem that he can get any closer than this, and it's the hairpin for the final time. And everything's going alright so far between these two. You can see the massive gap they've pulled on everyone else. What's that, about 5-6 seconds? Probably actually more than that. Probably maybe closer to 8 or 9. See if he's second to last bite of DRS. They're going down into the chicane. He's going to go for a banzai move. No, he's not. He needs to think about the championship. He needs to think about the super license points as well. And then out of the final corner, he can make the run now. Then up to the finish line. They're going to go up to the line. There's going to be Sergio Seti Camera to win the Canadian Grand Prix. Another win for this Brazilian. He's the man on form right now, especially with his teammate Peter. So he's going to gain more points on his De Vries, and he's just surely getting closer now to the F2 title, but it's still, whilst it's mathematically possible to have someone else win the title, it's never over until the maths say it is. And even then, with the Formula 1 politics, it still might not even be over then. Now back onto a sorry sight. Jordan King, last place but one, and of course since everyone else finished the race in the top 10, he's lost his fastest lap points because he's not going to finish there. Now through the chicane for the final time, and it's just a rather sorry run up the line for Jordan King. P16 of P17, nowhere near anyone else, and nowhere near the points either. But yeah, unfortunate for Jordan King. He had some good pace. Just got unlucky there with the incident with Eilert and the Trident car. He's way back onto the winners though. Downs once again, another 1-2. They really are now just running away with the team's championship now, especially with Mazepin not really doing a whole lot to help De Vries. Although De Vries, if he gets on the podium, so he's doing what he can for what should be named for the season Nick De Vries Grand Prix. Because apart from the first race, Mazepin's done absolutely nothing really. We got Markov there in P7, so a good race. Well, around there from the Russian to get up from 11th to 12th on the grid. Not quite as much overtaking around this track there as I thought it would have been, but the crowd seem entertained nonetheless. Now then, onto the podium celebrations, and it's Seti Camera on the top step, another Dams 1-2. Three of the championship contenders showing the podium once again. Once again, it's Seti Camera getting that winner's trophy. And the momentum just keeps on building and building for the Brazilian. They're going to spray his teammate there with the champagne. They're going to spray the crowd as well for the fifth time now. The fifth win of the season here for Seti Camera. He's definitely won the most races. Taking a look at the end results. As Seti Camera takes the win, and Latifi takes the fastest lap points but couldn't quite get past his teammate to finish in second. Running off the podium as I saw was Nick De Vries for ART. Giotto finishes in 4th place with Aitken running off the top 5. With Sonoda finishing 1 place lower than where he started in 6th. With Markolov obviously saw finishing P7 and Schwartzman in 8th. Ralph Boschman with the good race finishes in 9th for Trident. With Boccolacci losing ground in the race, finishing down in 10th, with Delatraz getting some points on the board in 11th, with Alesi running off the points in 12th. Seti Camera now moves ever closer to the F2 title now. 47 points clear with 3 races left to go. 124 points to De Vries' 77, and De Vries is now only 2 points clear of Latifi, so Dams could be on for a 1-2 in the championship. Although I'm pretty sure Giotto, Aitken, and maybe even Markolov could have some say in that yet. And in 7th place we have Schwartzman on 46 points, and he looks pretty clear ahead of Sonoda. You know, gets back ahead of teammate Delatraz, so the two car drivers looking very, very evenly matched. With Boccolacci in 10th place in the second of the two Campos, with Mazepin now in 11th, with Jordan King, despite his no score, staying inside the top 12. And now on to the team standings, and Dams once again move ever closer to the team's title. Not quite got it under wraps yet though. They almost break the 200 point barrier. Over 100 points clear then of ART in 2nd place. But they still got to fight off Campos and Uni Virtuosi yet if they want to secure 2nd place in the standings. And then we have the fight for 5th as well, with Arden on 62, 3 points clear of Carlin on 59, and they're 5 points clear of Premier here on 54. Then we've got the other fight in for 8th place in Trident now, with their double points get ahead of MP Motorsport on 23 points to 18, with Sauber still at the bottom on 14. So remember to leave a like if you enjoyed this race, leave a comment down below as well. Subscribe if you're new and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out any future uploads. If you could give me a follow on Instagram and Twitter as well, that would be much appreciated. They'll be linked in the description down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.